kids a lot of times get guardianship because they feel pressured to get guardianship, and that pressure comes from a lot of places. It comes from the schools, and his pediatrician said that we needed to get guardianship, and I knew people who had guardianship of their children, and they said, well, you need to get guardianship. And so I thought, do I need to get guardianship? And I didn't know, and my husband and I, we were pretty ignorant. So we made an appointment with an attorney. Our fear for John was that because he could not communicate, he's autistic and he's nonverbal, we thought, what would happen if he had a medical emergency and we couldn't make a decision for him because he was an adult? And that fear was real. The attorney told us that if John could not communicate in a way where he could be broadly and widely understood by all, that he absolutely had to be under guardianship. And we believed him.
There are many people for whom guardianship is not necessary, that they in fact are quite capable of making their own decisions with the support of people on difficult decisions. And so if you like, it's a kind of overreach that strips people's rights away from them. In this sense, many people don't appreciate that guardianship means that you have no rights whatsoever, and your decisions are going to be made typically by a substituted decision maker.
As John's communication got better, his decisions were his own. He was, over time, as he was making more and more consequential decisions, we let him do that. And so when he first said he wanted to terminate his guardianship, I thought, I don't know, you'll lose your health insurance when you turn 26, you're already making your decisions, so what difference does it make?
So in some cases, it's very important for people themselves with disabilities to kind of put on a new hat in terms of how they see themselves. There is a learning curve for a lot of people, and so I think it's a change in how they see themselves. And typically what we're seeing is that people become much more sure of themselves in the sense of confident about making decisions, expressing themselves, challenging even their own thinking. So it's important to see this as a developmental process for the people involved. And typically we see considerable growth of the person once they're out from under guardianship.
He wanted to make his own decisions, and rightfully so, as a person in his own right, with his full legal capacity and his full human rights. And once I realized how very important it was, I said, sure, let's do it.
So you don't seek out decision-making just because you like to practice decision-making. It's decision-making about your life and what you want to do with your life and what would be the best life for you. And so you are, in this sense, empowered, but not empowered just for its own sake, but empowered because in the process you get your life back and you can do things with that life. And you can, in some cases, dream again about what you'd like to do with your life. So it has all of these other somewhat intangible, but nonetheless very real benefits in terms of the person getting a piece of the good life that's possible for them.
John is capable of learning anything, just like anyone else out there. And he's capable of making his own decisions. And I think once you look at your person with a disability in that light, and you realize that it's their legal right and their human right to make their own decisions, and you realize that they might need support and you support them, they become empowered. And it is through empowering them that they're going to realize their potential. And what you also have to do is back up and realize that the potential that they're realizing is not defined by you, the mom, or by the dad or the family or anyone else. It's their potential defined by them. My son believes that he is best, ironically enough, as a public speaker, and that is something he is uniquely qualified to do. And so someone does that, so who am I? Am I going to say no? He defines what he's good at. He defines what his potential is. And so it's his dream. It's his dream for himself, and that's what supported decision-making is about. It is about supporting the dream by that person, for that person. It's their dream, and it's their way of getting there.